Caught my wife crossing boundaries with a male colleague. Can we rebuild trust after this emotional betrayal? Hey Reddit. I never thought I'd be here, but I don't know who else to turn to. I'm a 34-year-old guy, and my wife 31F and I have been married for 7 years. We also have a 2-year-old toddler, and honestly, I thought our marriage was solid. But recently, I found out that things were happening behind the scenes that I never saw coming. A little background: my wife works in a pretty demanding job, and she's always been close with her colleagues. I've always been okay with it because, well, I trusted her. But over the past few months, I noticed she was mentioning this one guy, a coworker, more and more. We'll call him Jake. At first, it was just harmless anecdotes about work. But then, little things started adding up. It started with her spending more time on her phone, texting late into the night. She'd laugh at something and, when I asked, just brush it off like it was work stuff. I didn't think much of it initially. But then she started getting more secretive. She'd turn her phone away, lock it more often, and her reactions got defensive if I asked too many questions. The real breaking point came a few weeks ago. She was out late with work friends, which isn't unusual, but this time, she wasn't responding to my texts. My gut told me something was off, so when she got home, I casually asked about her night. She gave a vague answer, which didn't sit right with me. When she went to bed, I had this nagging feeling and decided to check her phone. I know, it wasn't my finest moment, but I couldn't shake the feeling. And, unfortunately, my worst suspicions were confirmed. I found a string of texts between her and Jake. While it wasn't anything explicit, there was a clear emotional intimacy there, inside jokes, shared frustrations, and things she'd never shared with me. There was even one message where she mentioned that he just gets her. Reading that crushed me. When I confronted her the next day, she was taken aback. She tried to downplay it at first, saying they were just friends and that I was reading too much into it. But eventually, she admitted that she had crossed boundaries, saying she never intended for it to go this far and that she never thought it would hurt me this way. She kept insisting that it wasn't physical, which, as hard as it is to believe, I want to believe. She told me she felt overwhelmed by the responsibilities of our family, work, and life in general and that Jake was just an escape. She apologized, broke down, and kept saying she wants to make things right, that she still loves me, and that she was just going through a rough time. She even offered to cut off contact with him if that's what it would take to fix things between us. Now I'm torn. I want to believe that this was just a rough patch for her. I want to believe that we can rebuild, especially for our child's sake. But every time I look at her, there's this feeling of betrayal that I can't shake. Part of me is angry, hurt, and wondering if I'll ever truly be able to trust her again. And another part of me wants to forgive her because, despite everything, I still love her deeply. We've started talking about therapy, both for her individually and for us as a couple. She's shown genuine remorse, and I can see she's willing to put in the work. But I don't know if that's enough. How do I move forward from here? Is it even possible to rebuild trust after something like this? TLDR, discovered my wife had an emotional affair with a coworker. She claims it was never physical, just a harmless escape, and wants to work on our marriage. I'm hurt and unsure how to rebuild trust or if it's even possible. Update: Hey Reddit. First off, I want to thank everyone for the outpouring of advice, support, and even the tough love. Reading through your responses helped me see things from different perspectives, and it gave me a lot to think about. I thought I'd come back with an update since a lot has happened in the past few weeks. After my initial post, my wife and I had a long, raw conversation. She admitted that she didn't fully understand how deeply her actions affected me. Hearing my side of it, especially how it's impacted my ability to trust her, seemed to be a wake-up call for her. She broke down a few times, saying she hates that she made me feel this way and that she feels like she's ruined the foundation of our marriage. We agreed to start couples therapy, and she's also seeing a therapist on her own to work on some of the issues she mentioned around stress and feeling trapped. We've only had a couple of sessions so far, but even just having a neutral space to unpack everything has been eye-opening. There's a lot we both need to work on, and it's becoming clear that some of these issues have been building up over time, even before this emotional affair started. One of the biggest hurdles, though, has been dealing with my own emotions. I'm angry and hurt, and sometimes it's hard not to take it out on her, even when I know she's trying to make things right. I've also had moments where I wonder if I'll ever fully trust her again. But despite everything, I can see she's putting in the effort. She's been completely transparent about her phone, and she even deleted Jake's contact info and blocked him on all social media without me asking. I can't say things are perfect or that we're healed, but we're making slow progress. I still don't know if we'll come out of this stronger or if it's going to break us in the end. For now, I'm taking it one day at a time, hoping therapy can guide us through this. Thanks again, Reddit. I'll keep you all posted if anything major happens, but for now, I'm just grateful for the support.